Good afternoon, Abbotsford residents. I'm Mr. Pelican. I'm running for Mayor of Abbotsford. There'll be a lot of issues here in Abbotsford that we're opening. First thing I'm going to do is get the RCMP in, and there's going to be investigations and a massive. As my mayorship I'm running for, I'm also asking Abbotsford residents, if you want to be a voice for Abbotsford and be a part of Abbotsford, please come forward, see me. Let's get together and let's make sure we got councils that are credible here, that have the view of the residents and listen to their residents, and we can wipe out what took place with Dave Lowens and all establishment what was running in the city. One of these biggest issues in Abbotsford is the corruption. The corruption that was led by like no other under the Mayor, Henry Braun, and tied to political politicians, Ed Fast and Mike DeJohn. What brought me all the way this part here, ladies and gentlemen, to run for your mayorship was our homes were negligently damaged under Henry Braun, his son, controlling the city, no investigations into this, and then led by the Abbotsford police to threats to shut your mouth. The Abbotsford police went as far as in the election when I ran, because I saw Henry controlling the newspaper through Rick Rakes, Vicky Hopes, and Tyler Olson. It was establishment like no other to get rich. They started ringing my house thanks to the RCMP that was witnessed, the task force and everything. The Abbotsford Police Building, you never had a say. It was 71 million and it's led by these losers that are in here, absolute losers, that this is going towards crime. These men were way out of control. You saw them racing our Dodge Chargers in the middle of the winter. You saw them jumping on our vehicles. You saw them elbowing people. You saw them smashing. You saw them making false claims against the residents. You saw them in Yale Secondary telling African-American kids they're not let in the parks. There was nobody investigating. The chief wouldn't even open his office to sit with the general public. The mayor who sits on the board is supposed to haul that. We need a total overhaul. We saw what happened here in Abbotsford when Henry Braun wanted to get rich. I'm going to open investigations into Ron Funkadiverse. We saw what happened on the Mackenzie Bog. Our residents and family got deadly sick. There was no city people there, no city officials, because it was elites that were looking after their friends. We saw what happened to Cooper's Farm and how Henry snuck in the city to change that with his son. When you don't have a police department that can hold the body of law, and you don't have a newspaper that's checking all this, you have corruption. As your new mayor and commander-in-chief, the first thing I will do is take that back down. Your tax dollars were frauded for a misguided, wrongful men that couldn't hold themselves up. We need to come in here, and we saw that with Watts. Watts owed me a new camera and a new phone, and he covered up his guys' organized crime. There is no gangs. We don't need to listen to this Abbotsford police are releasing statements about gangs and that. We need credible officers. How we get that is back with the RCMP. This was an organization led by Henry Braun, a ring to get rich. We need to go into the city and forensic audit. When a municipal election was blocked and frauded and loaded. But I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, through all the stuff that I had to endure, I want to thank the Mission RCMP. I want to thank them very much for Abbotsford residents and for myself. But I want to become the mayor of Abbotsford to investigate everything. That is how Henry Braun was leading this city, by a dictatorship. Abbotsford police are the most hated police force in the world. This doesn't stop here. As your mayor, I want to walk in and say, guys, pack your bags. I don't care how long you've been here. You had an obligation to do investigations, to do reports, talk to witnesses. You failed at all. I believe you got a buddy system here. Pack your shit and get out of my city, and that's what I will do as your mayor. And the first guy to go and be dragged and humiliated will be Chief Watts. That I will guarantee you. He'll be dragged like no other chief and set the example. This was done on taxpayers' dollars. Fraud, 71 million you didn't get to speak. Then a cost overrun and everything else. Henry was enriching himself. Watts knows we got to go through all Henry's property. This is where Henry parked his car on Sunday after church, where he went up in the city to change the Cooper Farm, and his wife sat here in the hot sun. Then Henry blames Peter Sparanese, and Henry's son called me to make sure that his dad was doing that, and it was his dad and wasn't city staff. But we have to go into the city staff too. We know what Rob Isaac and city management's doing, and we have to go in there. We have to make sure that city officials never have this buddy system again. But the first thing we got to tackle is rebuild our police department. That I know I can do for you. That is why I'm running for your mayor, and I can do it like no other. I'm live, Abbotsford, British Columbia.